Alright. So I tried a little bit to say what I was thinking, but I couldn't because hamster is way too hectic. It's much easier when you're Zarya, because Zarya is super deliberate and patient and can only go from here to there over a very slow, you know, because she's super slow, like a dick. Anyway, King's Row hamster. I was with a 5-stack playing against a 5-stack, and here we go. For context, just before this game, Nick went to bed after playing 2200 or something hamster game and feeling like he did pretty good, and we still lost, and saying that that's been a theme lately, playing pretty good and still losing, and like, what can I do to have a bigger impact? I'm watching other people play hamster and I'm seeing them make mistakes that I don't make, so I'm better than them in the ways that I'm paying attention to. But they're clearly better than me in a way that I'm not paying attention to, so what is that way? At some point I'm going to realize the one thing that I'm not doing that they're doing, and then it's all going to be an epiphany, and I'll figure it out. So hopefully me narrating what my plan is and what I'm doing will, you know, I don't know, help, maybe not. So right here my plan is to get to the high ground, right? I'm not going to shoot at anyone, I'm not going to slam anyone, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to fail, I'm going to run into a Junkrat trap and survive. But my plan was to go to the high ground. So I'm going to hook the statue. Right, remember, just hook anything up high. So I hook anything up high, and I get stuck in a stupid Junkrat trap, hit my E, and then get away, and I'm fine. So now I'm still just trying to get to that high ground, and I don't necessarily have to hook to get there. But again, statue perfect. Hook somewhere up high, I'm going to swing to the high ground. Now, by swinging from the right, Ryan isn't going to be distracted by me. But Anna, because she's going to be in the back over here, she's going to see me hook over here, and she's going to be trying to tell her team, hey, hamster is blah, 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 and she's hopefully going to be distracted by me. So that's the plan. I want to be up high, so that in order to shoot me, they have to take their guns completely super far off of my team. Gives my team a way to get through choke. So my whole goal is to go as long as possible with at least 2 people, but not more than 3 people shooting at me, and take 0 damage. And this is a thing that I never see you do, Nick. Is to take 0 damage while doing it. I do see you sometimes roll into people in order to distract so that your team can push through choke, but you intentionally do it in a way like on the ground, in a way where you're going to take a bunch of damage, so you're going to have to get out and go get healed up and then come back. I don't want to get out and go get healed up and come back. I want to stay in forever. So I'm trying to take 0 damage here. So I can see the Anna. Now, right now, I'm trying to push her to a position where she can't heal her team. Hopefully their Ryan will die. I'm not looking at their Ryan. I don't know if he'll die. But if I make Anna move away from where she wants to be, then maybe someone will die because of that. So I pushed her to a different spot. Now she has to go all the way through hotel. This is like 5 seconds where she's not going to heal anyone, and maybe someone will die. They don't. We're going to lose this fight, but that was what I was thinking, and that's why I did what I did. Now, they've all moved to a position where being where I am is no longer distracting anyone, so I'm just going to sit on point. We're down 2 players. This is a 4v6. I know it's a 4v6. I'm not trying to win a fight. As long as I take 0 damage, anything I can do to draw people's attention is fine. So I'm not trying to pull them to point and then roll through them and slam them. I'm just trying to pull them to point and not get slipped. That's my only thinking here. Don't let Genji hit me. Don't let Anna sleep me. If D.Va chases me, let her chase me, but don't let her hit me. And try to stay full health while drawing people's attention. So I go through them. Still 590 health, and I use my E. Now there's a couple people looking at me right now. Junkrat is moving to the right to try to cut me off, right? So he's worried about where I am. Clearly Anna's worried about where I am because I keep shooting at her every once in a while. I haven't gotten her low, I haven't killed her, I haven't threatened to kill her, but I'm in her mind. She's thinking about me, Junkrat's thinking about me. Now I'm going to shoot at Ryan to make sure he's thinking about me, because there's an urge when you're Ryan and you're getting hit from behind and there isn't a fight happening to turn around and look and maybe throw an E or blah, blah, blah. And if he turns around, he might get slept, he might get punched by someone, he might get shot by a widow, like... He's not going to turn around, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, if I shoot at him, maybe he'll turn around. So now, I knew that Junkrat was there to cut me off, so I go up here just to let him see me and be like, yeah, I know you're trying to cut me off, so keep trying, keep thinking about me. But my plan was to go up and then back down. He was closer than I thought he was, so he actually hits me twice. So for the first time, it's been, what, a long time, like 2 minutes, and for the first time I actually take damage. So now that I've taken damage, my goal is to get a lot of people's attention while I run to the Mega, right? I was always on my way to the Mega, but I don't want to be out of the fight for a long time. Getting the Mega is going to take me 4 seconds there and 3 seconds back. That's 7 seconds that I won't be in the fight. So if I can get people to chase me halfway to the Mega, then really I'm only out of the fight for half the time. So I get the D.Va and the Genji to chase me. I get the Mega like I was always planning to do. The D.Va uses all her cooldowns. She's still chasing me. I've got the Mega like I wanted to. I'm still at half health, so I'm not going to slam anyone. I'm not going to shoot at anyone. I'm going to get more people's attention. I'm pushing Anna out of position so she can't heal the Rein even though the Rein's fighting. She's going to miss her sleep dart. Now, because she's super low, I'll take this, but normally because I was at 300 health, you can see how I was already almost through that right side door. I'm thinking, on my way to a Mega, how can I get people to look at me? Right? And this is, again, something I never see Nick doing. This is something I never see you doing if you're Nick. Getting Megas. Like, my plan is how to get to the Mega, right? So, I get the Mini, and then I go for the Mega. And my team says, like, 3 people are dead or something, and then suddenly there's a Genji and a baby D.Va in between me and the Mega that I was going for, so I guess I have to bail on this plan, but they're both really low, I'm really low, the fight is super won, so even if I die, who cares? And I'm not going to try to finish off the baby D.Va, because I like her as a baby, and I needed healing. So you can see how my health was the main thing I was thinking about throughout all of that. I killed Anna, and I killed Genji, but they were accidents. I didn't go in thinking, I'm going to kill Anna, I'm going to kill... I didn't even know the Genji was there. On the way to kill Anna, I was not going to even try to kill her. I was going towards a Mega, and she happened to be in my way, and so I killed her. And killing people is, like, not what I think about. It's just a byproduct of where I happen to be and whose health bars I see. So they're going to use, like, 5 ults to retake here, so don't give up on this fight yet. Anna's dead because I killed her because haha. But that's another thing that I just did that, I mean, this isn't a real fight. There's a nano boosted Ryan on point. He's killing the monkey. The Genji just bladed and he killed 2 of my guys. So I think 3 of my guys are going to be dead against like 4 of their guys. Anyway. So this kind of seems like a mop up from my perspective, but if you look at the kill feed, like it's not just a mop up. But anyway, right here, this is something I don't see you do very often. I hook very high. I always hook very high. I hook in a position, right, in this doorway, where I can be on both sides of the doorway. So if someone on the left side of the doorway is shooting at me, I can go to the right side of the doorway without letting go of my hook. And now the people on the right side of the doorway are going to shoot at me, and then I'm going to go to the left side of the doorway. So I never see you hold on to your hook. You like use your hook to swing from the ground up into the air, and then you let go, and then you slam, right? You only go like this. In this case, I'm going, like, from here, I hooked to here, and I swing up, and I swing over, and I swing over, and then I slam. Like, hold on to your hooks, man. It makes you super annoying and hard to hit and very distracting, and it's good. It's good. Hold on to them hooks. Stay in the air. Be in the air. Never start a fight without thinking about how you can get into the air. So I didn't realize the Genji had killed my team, so I kind of think that this is a fight we can win, and I dropped my ult, which is stupid, and now it's a 1v6 or something, and I'm like, maybe I can push someone into the mine because we have massive spawn advantage. So if I can even kill one person, especially if it's Anna, then it's going to matter a lot because my team's not ready yet. I'm going to be respawned by the time they are ready. If I could have killed someone, it would have been worth it. It was stupid to drop the ult, but once it was dropped, I don't regret staying and trying to push someone into it. Yeah. So right here, exactly the same plan as last time we were in the choke. My goal is to be high in the sky in a way that allows my team to push through choke while other people are looking up. Looking up. I want people to look up. I want to be up in the sky, and then I want to go near the Mega, so that if I get low, I can just go to the Mega, and if I don't get low, I can stay out there. Right? So I've decided that on this part of this map, I want to be near the Mega. So I'm going to this door because that's where the Mega is. But you saw how I didn't go through the choke on the ground. I didn't go to a specific person and slam them. I went over the Anna and the Junkrat, and I didn't slam them. I have my E, I have my slam. I could have slammed them, done a ton of damage, used my E, still been full health. That's not my plan. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to kill people. I'm here to draw eyeballs away from the front. So now this is another thing I don't see you do very often, right? I've gotten the attention of like 4 people, and now I push around a corner, but the second a ball goes around a corner, everyone gives up on him because I'm way too fast. They're not going to chase me around this corner. So I just kind of stand there within sight of everyone around this corner and be like, look, you can't chase me. There's nothing you can do. I can do damage from here without having to strafe left and right. I'm just going to stand totally still. I'm going to mirror the movement of D.Va. I'm going to make my aim really good. I'm going to shoot at D.Va. and then I'm going to go in and shoot at Anna. And now, because of this triple kill, my team called retreat. So I'm overcommitting to the Anna because there's no point in me retreating. Like, I can die and respawn and be back in seconds. So I'm like, if I can kill the Anna, we have the spawn advantage, it'll be worth it. So I suicide to try to get the Anna. I fail, I don't get the Anna, I die anyway. But I meant to die. It's fine.
Wait till we're grouped up.
So again, what's my plan right here? I bet you can guess. I'm gonna hook somewhere on the statue, and I'm gonna go somewhere high up in the sky. That's my plan. I'm not gonna be on the ground very much if I can help it.
Pushing.
Bam. I didn't slam anyone. I didn't take very much damage. I think I've lost 70 of my actual raw health. I always want to be full health because otherwise I have to go get health packs. I have to go find healers. So I'm distracting right now Junkrat, Diva, and Brig a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And now I'm body blocking for this guy who's ulting because, you know, he's ulting. Gotta protect him. But he dies to the person I killed protecting him, so that kind of sucks. I don't know what's going to happen at this exact moment, but I'm watching it. I'm watching it, man. I can tell you one thing. I'm going to be up in the sky. That's what. That's what. And, again, another thing I've already hit on, but... Alright, I killed this guy, and now I'm at half health. So what am I thinking? How can I get to one of the megas in a way that distracts their team? I could have gone to that mega over to the right of where we're looking now, but I would have been out of the fight for like 7 seconds, and nobody's shooting at me right now. If I'm going to a mega, I want people to be shooting at me. So I go through their team to try to get someone to shoot me on my way to the mega. I'm going to the mega. So I'm not going in here like, hey, how much damage can I get in? How much distraction can I do? I'm saying... I need the mega. I'm going to the mega. How can I make sure someone shoots at me on my way there?
Are you serious? You didn't get hit with that?
So I drop some mines and get some people's attention. I go get the mega. I notice that my whole team just died. I'm like, well, screw the mega then. I should just die. And again, let's try to take someone with me.
Yeah, he's instantly
And now my team is being stupid and saying that Genji's hacking, even though there's no such thing as a Genji hack. So, what do you think I'm going to do this time? Hook somewhere up high, get some people's attention, get near a mega, get somewhere safe and up high, and then I mostly shoot at big fat people unless someone's low or unless I can get, like in this case, I'm never going to kill an Anna in a 1v1 here, but it's on the way to the mega and I'm preventing her from healing her team. Stupid Diva Bomb kills people. Like, can you believe anyone dies to Diva Bombs these days? They should be hamster. They could go so fast they'd never die. This is a thing I've pointed out before, but I hold on to a hook for more than one swing. Go in. Don't let go of the hook. Go out. Right? Yeah. Do that more often. You never do that. I think this fight is just unbelievably won. We won. It's fine. So when a fight is just massively won, I often just give up on my mechanics and just stand there and shoot people like a big fat soldier. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm like, I'm a big fat soldier. This is mop up time, so I'm mopping up. But even while I'm mopping up, let's get way up in the sky, man. Did you see the... I didn't plan this. I didn't plan this at all. My only thinking was, I'm going to hook somewhere up high, and then I'm going to hit Genji, and then I'm not going to let go, and I'll just see where I end up. Right? It worked out great. I went up in the sky, over to the middle of the point, and got a nice slam. But, or not nice, I ended up in a nice spot. But it's cool what happens when you just don't let go of your hooks. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen, but look how cool this is. I'm right in the middle, I'm right on top of Diva. That's so cool. Anyway, yeah. That's a byproduct of just not letting go of your hooks right away. Not going to a specific place. Anyway, this is over. I'm gonna do some mop up here, and then once I get below 400 health, you notice this is another theme that I wanted to emphasize when I was watching your play. Whenever I'm below 400 health, my first thought is, how do I get to a mega? How do I get to a place to heal? So as soon as I got below 400, bam, gonna sit on the cart, go find a heal. This is I know obviously you go in, you get low, and then you look for a heal. You do that, like. But that's not the whole story. I'm not going in order to get low so that I can come get healed. Like, I don't want to get low. I want to be full health all the time. Whereas I think a lot of times you barrel into their team knowing that you're going to take damage. And, I mean, I do that sometimes, but very rarely. It's usually I'm thinking about what high ground I want to get to, what mega I want to stand near, how I can get the attention of one or two people without taking damage. Did you see how ridiculous that was? That was frustrating. So I pre-hook so that I can boop the Rhine into the pit, and then for some reason I don't get my red fire. It's just, oh, that was frustrating. Anyway, I'm below 400, so it's time to go think about where I can get a mega. Well, there's a mega right behind them, so if I slam here, I could grab that mega. Oh, you know what? Someone healed me already. I guess I'll just go back to the cart. If someone's shooting at me, I better get up high in the sky. Yeah, fair shot at me, so I got high in the sky. And now I'm near this mega. I'm playing around this mega. You can see how many times, maybe 4 times already, I planned to pick up that mega, and then realized I was full health, so I didn't have to. But I'm playing around that mega, and then I come play around this mega. Like, the mega is like where I'm positioning myself all the time. Here I'm gonna get slept. I don't think anything bad's happening, but I'm kind of out of this fight because I got slept, and now my team died without me, and it's like, oh, very sad, very sad.
I was bringing back now.
No, very sad.
Right there, get you with McCree, so look for the head dinks now. Stop.
Alright, so respawn. I don't think I've respawned from this exact spot before. So my plan, respawning from this spot, is hey, if my whole team is going to be coming from the left and going straight up and then over and then up, so why not go to the right? I'm faster than them. I should force the enemy team to have to look in both directions, right? Don't come from the same direction as your team. That's crazy. So I'm just going to go right. Like, hi guys. I'm still there before you, so whatever. And if anyone was shooting, they'd have to shoot in multiple directions. Boop the hog into the hook. I mean, into the pit. I dropped my ult here. It ended up being a bad ult. There was only, like, I put the ult in between the squishies and the hog, and I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a good place to use my ult. But I'm okay with it. Whatever. We won the fight anyway because someone else did something cool. The problem with using your ult to separate a hog from his team is that he's got that stupid E. You can just walk through your ult. So. And you can see how there's not really a fight. They're just letting us push the cart, and so right now I'm like, again, take a position where their whole team knows where you are and wants to kill you. And they're gonna throw things at you because they know you're there and they know they can probably hit you. But I'm so fast, no one can chase me. If I need to leave, I can leave. It's fine. See? So many people wanted to get to me. I did end up getting hooked and dying. It was very sad. But I feel like the things I'm trying to do are the right things to be trying to do, so even though sometimes I fail at them, yeah. So same deal. I want to put myself in a position that is different from my team and up in the air. So this is an angle that they wouldn't otherwise have to look at, and it's up in the air, and it's very close to a mega. The theme's up in the air, not where your team is, near a mega. I got hooked. It sucked, but that was, you know, that fit the criteria, so I did it. Look at that ult. I was already dead. So that was actually the play of the game, and we missed it because I was dead. Right now I'm just waiting for my team. This is final push. Boop. See, I'm still above 400 health. That was a very Nick engage, but because it's overtime, I felt like I didn't have time to be clever. That was very similar. Like, you notice how right now I'm not shooting at anyone. I'm not looking for a better slam. I'm not moving to get in front of them. I put myself behind their team and near a health pack to my right and a health pack to my left and a mega health pack to my immediate left. So I'm in between 3 health packs. And now I look to see if anyone's shooting at me. I notice that McCree is shooting at me, so I don't have free reign. If I did have free reign, I would wait until the Moira went past the Anna, and then I would just shoot at the Anna's head while standing totally still. But I noticed the McCree's looking at me. That's something you don't do. It only takes like half a second to see if anyone's looking at you. You glance at your health. I'm still almost full health. You glance around. He's not looking, not looking, not looking. Oh shit, he's looking. So I guess I have to worry about him. So I noticed that one of my teammates has committed to him, so I'm like, hey, he's the only one looking at me. If I engage him, now nobody but him is going to be shooting at me, so I can just kind of stand there and murder him. Same thing here. This is, I feel like something I'm really good at, that you did really well 2 times, but you did really poorly like 6 times in the last game that I watched of yours. But this is stalling 1v4, right? So the main thing to worry about when you're stalling 1v4 is keeping the cart in between you and one person. So I usually pick Ryan if there's a Ryan. Just keep the cart between me and Ryan. I don't care if Lucio can hit me. I don't care if Hog can hook me. As long as the cart's between me and Ryan, I've done my job. And then jumping as much as you can so that you jump off the ground, hit your ball against the cart, and it will boop you up in the air. So you'd be like doing a Genji double jump over and over. Genji double jump, Genji double jump. And double jump to the other side of the cart, and then Genji double jump off the cart. I don't know if this is a thing that you've noticed that ball can do, but it's really quite cool. And I managed to stall for a really long time here, even though it's like me against 5 people, and it's overtime, and they all obviously want me dead. But look, I'm still at 400 health. Like, it's ridiculous. Just doing these double jumps and wall bounces, like how hard it is for them to finally kill me. I don't know how that long that lasted, but it must have been like 8 seconds or something. Stalling as balling is something worth practicing. Obviously, you would have stalled in that situation. Recognizing when you should stall is easy. But how to stall, I don't know. I feel like I've seen you stall a lot of times by rolling quickly along the ground past the team and then going out of line of sight of them with your E now used up and being like, I'm low, I don't have my E, I just use my, what do I do now? I'm just going to leave. Right? I've seen you do that. And just recognize that you can get up in the air just by bouncing off the cart. It's pretty freaking cool. Alright, now defense. So on offense, my goal was always to draw some people's attention, get high in the sky, stay full health, always have at least one person's attention. Whenever I get below 400 health, I try to draw a path from myself to the mega that makes me go get the attention of some people. So I'm trying to get to megas while getting someone's attention. On defense, it's different, right? So I saw that they have a Widow. I feel like my only job right now is to make sure the Widow doesn't kill my healers. So I'm gonna go through their team, slam their team, walk away, make sure I have full health for when I contest the Widow. I saw the Widow go to the top left, so now I'm gonna try to get to the Widow while still being at full health. Notice, I mean, something I noticed about your play is that you too, just like me, recognize that it's your job to go harass that Widow, but you don't stay at full health. You're always at half health, so when you end up fighting the Widow, if there's a Zen that's also shooting at you and the Widow, then you just melt instantly. So I couldn't find the Widow. Here she is. The Widow's shooting at me, so I'm kind of doing my job now. I'm going to get up there and harass the Widow. She hasn't killed anyone. I'm kind of doing my job in that sense. I lost track of the Widow, so I'm going to get her, I'm going to get a beat on her by, this is the thing I've said a bunch of times. I grapple somewhere high, and I don't let go until I've found the Widow, right? Because if I want to stay where I am and look around, what's the safest way to do that? Grapple somewhere high, swing back and forth, no one can hit you, find the Widow. Now I know where the Widow is. Okay, I see that Anna's healing the Widow. She grappled. Now I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm below 400 health, so I'm thinking there's a mega right here that I can get to. There's a mega through the door to the left that I can try to get to. So I'm going to try to go towards one of those megas. So here's the one that I chose. Now I notice that Mercy seems to have nothing better to do and wants to heal me. So I let Mercy heal me for a while, but I'm always thinking about, I could just go get the mega. Is anyone low? Is anyone low? So I see that Ryan gets to about half health, so I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to keep Mercy off of Ryan. That's something that I've noticed that you did a couple times, was when a healer is healing you, she's not healing other people. So if someone else gets low, you just got to run. Just because healers at our rank are stupid, and they will heal you to full when someone else is taking damage. So just, you know, I see someone get low, so I run away. Same thing, go harass the Widow. She gets away. Boo, she hasn't killed anyone, and I'm harassing her. Now I lose track of the Widow, so I shoot at D.Va. D.Va is a nice big fat thing that I shoot at a lot, because just like you, I have really bad aim. And D.Va's, you know, D.Va's a great thing to shoot, because you can't miss something so big and fat. So I'm looking around for the Widow, still can't find her, she's dead. So now I'm just randomly shooting shit. You notice how on offense I was always trying to stay up in the air, and on defense I'm on the ground a lot more. I think that's because on offense I'm almost always in front of my team, and on defense I'm almost always behind my team, or above and to the left or above and to the right of my team. I'm never in their team. Not never, but I'm rarely in their team. I'm usually somewhere to the side or just barely in front of my own team. So again, holding a hook for a long time until I find a widow, and then I go pee on her. Pee, dead. Alright, we just got 2 kills. We knew this was coming, and we had a lot of trouble with the nano blade before, so I dropped mines on the nano blade, but at first we're up 3 and they're only up 1, but then suddenly they get 3 more kills, so now they totally won. Very sad. So using my mines to counter Genji Blade, I don't know that that's really a thing that works. I tried it here and it didn't work, and I don't know. I don't regret trying it, but I don't know that I'll do it again next time. Same deal, below 400, go find a mega, so I'm going to this mega. Hi, how's it going? But before I get to the mega, I gotta make sure someone's looking at me on my way, and then freaking Brig gets a lucky stun, which causes me to get slept, which causes me to get McCree stunned, which causes me to be dead. So, you know where I was going, and you know that I never like going to a mega without anyone looking at me. So, you're like, hey, people look at me while I go to the mega, and I got stunned, and I died, and it was stupid, and I shouldn't have done that, but you know why I did it. I follow a very simple algorithm. I do the same shit over and over, and that's how I got to Diamond, was with this algorithm. So clearly this algorithm is an algorithm that kind of works, and, you know, sometimes you shouldn't have followed it, but I don't have time during the game to decide whether or not it's a good time to follow it. I just follow it. If I need heals, I need someone to be shooting at me when I go get heals. Alright, so same deal. Stalling carts is what Hammond is best at. So this is a 3v6 and I don't give a shit. I'm getting right on cart because I am so good at stalling carts. I'm a Hammond. I'm a big fat ball of cart stall. Ball of cart stall. But when you're below 400 health, you can't get shot at anymore. So I'm low. I'm gonna heal up and then I'm gonna go stall cart. Alright. I want the mega first. The mini and then the mega will put me above 400 and then I can stall cart. Ta-da! Alright, so right now, we know at least one of them has to sit on cart. We know that Genji and Anna saw me, and at least Genji followed me, right? So there's 4 people paying attention to me. My whole team is alive, so this is a 5v2. I'm making a 5v2. But making a 5v2, like, this is something that's easy to misunderstand, and I feel like I've seen a lot of examples of you kind of misunderstanding it, right? On Numbani third point, there's that bridge where it's so easy to get stuck if they had just put an Orisa shield at the top of the bridge. Like, it's just a bridge, and if they put a shield here, then the only other way to flank is to go through the upper whatever balcony, and it's very common for teams to get stuck right there. On that position, you kept going through the balcony, coming down behind their team, and then rolling into their team, right? That feels to me like an attempt to do what I'm doing here. Right? You're trying to get the attention of some people so your team could have a 5v3. But the way you did it, you went in thinking, I'm going to go soak up some damage and some people's attention so that my team has a 5v3 for 4 or 5 seconds. I'm thinking, I bet I can stall for 12, 15, 20 seconds without even getting below 400 health. Right? So you're doing the right thing, you're just doing it wrong. You're like... It was good both times when your team had fully respawned and their team was pushing the cart. You went and you got on cart, but you did it in a way where they could just immediately melt the shit out of you. You had to use your E, you got really low, and then you went and you got healed up. So you didn't cause an actual 5v3. So this is an example of me causing an actual 5v3. So you can hear me in chat saying, take your 5v3. I'm stalling them. I'm still at above 400 health. It's been like forever. I'm still 340 health, 350 health. My team took the 5v2 and they got 2 kills. They got 3 kills. And the whole time I went and got the mega, I'm still basically full health. Like, that is what I didn't see you do on purpose very often. It did feel like you did it by accident once, and I said, I'm not sure if you know how good this thing you did was. And you were like, no, I totally did all of that on purpose, and then I dove on the Zen. And that sentence illustrates to me that you didn't do what I was praising on purpose, because you got into the perfect stalling card position and then you dove onto the Zen. Like, what? That's the opposite of what I'm talking about. You saw how long it was between when I first started this stall and when I used my first slam. I wasn't thinking, how can I get in there and do some damage? How could I slam the Zen? How could I, soak up the damage of these guys in order to whatever. I was thinking, how can I take 0 damage? Anyway.
You just focus barrier and get
Alright, so hook somewhere high, go up in the air, get everyone's attention, slam, and then immediately roll away, line of sight between me and the Rhine. Remember when I was saying when you want to stall cart, just put the cart between yourself and the Rhine and let the Genji hit you, because he does nothing compared to Rhine. We just go in circles. Genji's going to miss sometimes. He sucks. I'm going to get on top of cart. I'm going to jump up in the sky. I'm going to bounce off the cart and jump up into the sky. I'm going to hook up really high and bounce over the cart and go up really high. And all that time, Ryan hit me with like 4 hammer swings. Genji hit me with like 2 Genji things. And I ended up basically full health. And the cart was stalled for a really long time, long enough for my team to get a triple kill. Do that, man. Absolutely. I feel like you absolutely already know that you should do that. And you're already attempting to do that. It's just how you're attempting to do that I think is the problem. How often am I full health? How often are you full health? You know? And I clearly have really shitty aim too. Couldn't kill that damn baby diva. This is another thing that I've talked about a billion times. I'm gonna hook and I'm not gonna let go, and I'm gonna go near a McCree and a Anna who can sleep me and a Hog who can hook me, and they're all gonna waste these super powerful abilities failing to get me off of this little ledge. Like, hey, I'm on a ledge, get me off, I dare you. Go ahead, get me off, I dare you. Hey, oh, you got me off. Guess what? I have an E. You don't need to use the E until they make you use the E. And in that time, we got 2 kills. And, like, that's awesome. Just don't let go of your hooks, man. Don't let go of your hooks.
I got death window. Hold it. Yeah.
Alright, so that was like 5 seconds. And then I used the E and I got out. I'm pretty much full health. And, yeah, it was great. So I'm gonna do it more than once, man. This is just a position that I like doing that in. So I'm, the Hog got really close to dying there. I got below 400 health, so I went back to get healed. And as soon as I'm full health, I'm gonna go back in. There's a thing that I know you know, but I don't know that, like, just armor, man. If your armor is gone, that's why you need to get full health before you do stuff. Be patient. Be patient. So there's a Blade and there's a McCree ult, but our McCree countered their McCree, and the whole time that their Genji and McCree are basically 2v5ing, what is their Hog doing? What is their Anna doing? What is their everyone except those 2 people doing? They're all looking at me. They're all getting me down to 300 health. And they're proud of it because it took them so many tries and so long to finally get me down to 200 health that they let their DPS 2v5 us, man. Like, that wasn't stupid. The McCree flanking and using his ult, that's a smart play. That's a play that works all the time. But it's because their whole team was stuck looking at me that it turned out very poorly for them. And don't you love this position where the cart is jamming the choke, and so the only way through is in this little tiny alleyway? It's perfect for Hammond, man. You just keep rolling through that alleyway and making fun of people. Boom!
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
I got trapped. But there, the Zen was ulting, and I slammed the Junkrat, who's immediately full health. And I still shot at the Junkrat for just a second, but not very long. Just long enough for me to see his eyes, right? You can tell when people are looking at you and when they're not. If you can't see that, like, if you don't see them looking at you, just shoot at them till they look at you and then run away. Why? Because I was going for a health pack. Whenever I'm going for a health pack, I want someone looking at me. Anyway, it didn't work in that scenario. I'm not saying, look at this great play, I did a great job, I won. I got trapped and I died. But I'm trying to describe the algorithm, the heuristic that I'm following, right? I'm only following like a 5-step heuristic. And that was just another example of me following the heuristic.
There we go.
I'm not thinking about a lot of stuff while the game goes on. I'm just following this little pattern and doing it over and over. And if this pattern didn't get me to diamond, I would have changed it to some other pattern, whatever. But, you know, this pattern's good enough. I don't need to learn a new one. I don't need to think about new things. Be high in the sky. Get people's attention. If you get close to 400 health, back off. You always want to have armor if you're going to be doing anything. And that's game over. So I feel like obviously everyone in the game, at the simplest, what it boils down to ness, has a heuristic that they're following. Has a 7-step process. Like, I'm going to do this until this happens, then I'm going to do this until that happens, then I'm going to do this until that happens. Right? Mine is get high, get people's attention until there's either a situation where I can easily get a kill and no one's looking at me, or until I'm below 400 health. Then, if we got to scenario 1 where I can kill someone, I'm going to try to kill them until my health gets down to 200, or until they die, or until I see them get healed, even once. Right? If the other thing happened, which is that I got below 400 health, I'm going to look for the nearest mega, and I'm going to try to get people to shoot at me on my way to that mega without actually getting hit. Really simple. Do it over and over and over and over. Anyway, let's watch that Nick replay, and I'll pick the other one because we already watched the Numbani replay, right? What about Hollywood? Was this Horizon Lunar Colony had Nick in it, right? Not one day ago. I guess we only played one game today, Nick. I thought we played lots of games. How is this undecided? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'll look at the Numbani one.
Traveling to Numbani.
So, I kind of misspoke. I was like, this thing that you did, I feel like it's bad because it violates my what I'm allowed to do, what I allow myself to do, right? And you were like, well, that's just, you know, my rules are different than your rules, and I don't think that that's a problem. I think, you know, maybe I could find rules that would make me win, and I just haven't found them yet, and you have to help me find the rules that'll make me win. But all I can really do is say, you know, I don't know what else can win. I've only tried things until I found one that worked, and then I stopped trying new things. So all I know is that my rules work. So I can't judge whether your rules are good or bad. Clearly, I mean, something about them is bad, but I don't know. So I wanna look at your replay through the lens of which of my heuristics are you following, and which ones are you almost following, and which ones are you violating, right? So here's my Nikki. So this was your first engagement, right? And this immediately violates thing, right? You hook up high, which is perfect. You go into the team, right? But remember, what was I thinking when I engaged the team? Was I thinking, oh, there's the Reinhardt, I'm going to try to hit him, right? I'm never thinking about who I want to hit. I'm thinking about where I want to be, right? So I want to be near a mega, I want to be up high, and I want only 2 or 3 of them to be able to see me, right? So in this case, there's a mini over there, there's a mega over here, and there's a mega behind you to the left, right? So I would want to put myself near this mega. So I would probably want to be on this ledge right here so that I could drop down and get the mega if I need to, right? So that's what I'm thinking when I make my engagements. Where do I want to get to? What's a place that's close to the mega where not all of them can see me, where my healers can see me, where, you know, where I can escape 100% of the time if I feel threatened, if I get below 400 health, right? So I would want to put myself, since I know where their team is now, I don't want to put myself in a position where I can get to that mega. There's another mega all the way around, like along the coast around, so I might even be going over there. I might want to be where the Lucio is, because where the Lucio is, he can drop down and go towards the point to get this mega, or he can drop down and go away from the point to get that mega. So you're safe from both kinds of pinchers. So that's what I would be thinking here. What you're clearly thinking is, I should boop the Rhine off high ground, because that will leave the other guys that are on high ground without a Rhine, and it'll leave the Rhine isolated, and then we could maybe kill the Rhine, or maybe we can pressure the people up top. And you do it, and it works, and the Rhine dies. It's just that totally violates my heuristic. I'm not saying it was bad. It worked. But it does. You're not thinking about where the mega is. You're not thinking about putting yourself in a position where you can get away easily. Anyway. So, I don't even think you booped the Rhine off. The Lucio booped the Rhine off. You booped the Rhine into the wall, and then the Lucio booped the Rhine off. So, what you did didn't work. You booped the Rhine into the wall. That was dumb. What you did didn't work at all. And then you got slept, and now, literally, their whole team is looking at you. So the McCree could have stunned you and right-clicked and then rolled and then right-clicked and then, you'd be dead. The Rhine could have, after you booped him into the wall, he could have charged you backwards to a safe position where your team couldn't shoot at him. And if he hits you, you're dead. And if he misses you, fine, he's still totally safe. So this wasn't a great engage. And the thinking here, too, was like, I mentioned this so many times when I watched that other replay of you on Eichenwald. You're always thinking, who's the first bad guy I can see, and how can I hit him in a relatively safe way? Just hit him. For no reason. I don't have any further thinking that. And what that always ends up doing is putting your team here, you here, near their tanks, and their team here. So the people in the back line of their team aren't threatened by your team. And your team can only see 2 tanks and you. Right? And sometimes when you push those tanks, you push them back so no one on your team can even participate. So now it's like a 6v1. Anyway, this happens a lot. You put yourself between the 2 teams. I don't like it. So right now you're between the 2 teams. I hate it. But luckily your Lucio did something really smart and you follow up on that. So you jump down. This position is great because there's a mega right here that you can see. You can roll immediately to that mega. There's a mega to your right that you can immediately get to. And then there's that doorway with a mega to your left that you can immediately get to. So you're in a great position. I like where you're standing. But that's not why you're standing here. This is not your heuristic. You didn't go here because of that. You went here because you got slept and you were scared and you jumped down. Anyway, the Rhine dies because Lucio booped him, which is awesome. The Zarya dies because she's basically in the middle of your team. And you're down to 160 health. I'm having trouble with the replay overlay. I can't really see your health easily, but you know that my heuristic says run away when you're below 400, right? So when would I have run away? Right now. Okay, so you run away at the same time I would have run away. So you didn't do anything wrong there. I'm surprised Zarya didn't die, but you were right to run away when you did. Now, when you run away, what am I... Like I said, my heuristic, when I'm below 400, what am I thinking? I gotta get someone to shoot at me, and then I gotta get a mega. You're thinking, how can I not die right now? And then I'll wait until hopefully I get healed, and then it'll all be okay. And I asked you about this, and you said that the Ana's coming back from spawn, and there's a shield here, so this is a perfectly safe place to wait for the Ana. It gives her ult charge, I get healed. But that's so bad. Don't try to give your healers ult charge. You've played healers, right? When you're a healer, do you want your people to wait and so everyone's low and then you have to very slowly spend an entire clip and a half mid-fight while people are shooting at you, healing up people who could very easily have gotten a mega? No. Go get a mega. So this is terrible. Anyway, let's wait until Ana actually does heal you, because you're going to do a thing, which I talked about while I was watching the King's Row thing, which is as soon as Ana gets you to 400, you're going to go in. And no, always be full before you go in, because you have armor. If you don't get to full, you don't use your armor, and that's terrible. Also, you know that you and Orisa are low, right? And if Ana heals you first, and then you go in, she doesn't have time to heal the Orisa, because now you just went in. She's got to heal you because you went before you were full. So she, like you're causing the Orisa to die by doing this. Also, you and the Orisa are standing in a position where everyone's just pounding on your shield, and the fact that the shield held just means that their team is shit. It doesn't mean that you chose the right move here. Like, why did you... This was terrible. This was so terrible. Like, there's 4 of them just beating on this shield, and you guys are like, yeah, but we got the shield. Like, shields are not walls. Alright, so the Ana hits you with a grenade. Right? You get to 400 health. And so you immediately go in, right? No, what are you doing? Be full before you go in. Make sure your other tank is full before you go in, because if you're not full, the Ana is going to follow you. And then when you went in on the tanks again. Pay attention. Where does Nick choose to engage? Does he pick based on map geography, where do I want to be? Or does he pick based on enemy heroes, who do I want to hit? And the answer seems to always be, who do I want to hit? Right now, you said, I want to push this Rhine back down the street so that the fight doesn't start right now because we're not ready, right? And I mean, if you're Lucio, that makes sense. But you're not Lucio. You got to put yourself in a good position, and you're not even trying to. So you engage against their tanks, putting yourself, their team is here, their tanks are here, you put yourself right here, your team is here. This is exactly what you do over and over, and I hate it. Don't do that. So now obviously the Zarya would kick your ass if you took this fight, so you get a Mega, and then you see, you said you do that Widow, but the Widow is there, and Zarya uses her friendly bubble. You go in, you notice that the Zarya is low. So in this case, you were trying to get to the Zarya, you accidentally hit the Zen, and this is how I get all my kills too. I never get kills on purpose. I go to a place, and if I accidentally bump into a person, I kill them. And that's what you did, and it works great. Absolutely. Good job. So you kill the Zen, and then you're like, oh, there's a Rhine too. You kill the Rhine. That's exactly how Aemon should be getting kills. You try to go to a place, there's a person there, you kill him by accident. But remember, right now you're 200 health. Actually, you're 90 health. You're 200 including shields. Run the fuck away. Go get a Mega. Go get 2 Megas. Go get 3 Megas. So you go stand next to your Anna, and then she heals you twice, and you go in. What are you doing? This is so bad. I bet if we watch the game from the Anna's perspective, you're going to see what this does to her. I haven't looked, so I might have to put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, she's still pointing her gun at you, right? She's got all these people she could be healing. She starts healing the lowest health one who's in most danger of dying, and he runs away. So she's like, wait, and she follows you, right? She should be back down that hill, healing the Orisa, healing the Junkrat, or maybe she should be getting to the high ground. She shouldn't be following you, but obviously that's what she's going to do, because you're the lowest health person, you're the closest to dying, she was healing you a second ago, and you ran away. This is so bad. Don't do this. First of all, you shouldn't have run to her, you should have run to get a Mega, but if you do run to her, stand there until you're full, like literally full, like you have armor. Alright, so you go and you're going to immediately die. Let's go back to your perspective. Alright. Hi, Widow. Hi. Oh, actually, you're not gonna die. You're gonna win this duel with the Widow. But I hated this so much, and I couldn't articulate when we were watching the replay together. I was like, watch this fight, and I watched this fight like 5 times, and I was saying how much I hated it, but I couldn't explain why I hated it. And the answer is what it does to the other people on your team and the other people on their team. It pulls me to the bottom of the ledge because you have 200 health and you're fighting a Widow. It pulls the Anna away from healing the people she should be healing and pulls her away from the position she should be in. And you don't have armor. Why are you fighting without armor? And it's bad in so many ways. But together you and I kill the Widow because we're great. But you're going to die and I'm going to die because of where we ended up being. And why did we end up being there? Is because you went there low health, so I had to follow you, and then we were both in a stupid position, and it's bad. So this engagement, again, I want to look at what I think you're thinking with every engagement, because I want you in the future, at least for 10 games, to try thinking what I'm thinking, which is, how do I, if I'm below 400 health, how do I draw fire while getting a Mega? If I'm above 400 health, how do I get somewhere up in the air with people looking at me, but not more than 3 people, and land somewhere out of line of sight of most of their team, but still in line of sight of somebody I want to harass, and near a Mega, right? How do I get from here to somewhere near a Mega? Both of the 2 scenarios involve the word Mega, right? So you, when the Widow dies, you see what you see, you hear the ult. You're probably thinking right now, I need to go, I mean, the point is about to be 1 tick. Maybe if I get to the McCree, I can duel him in a way that makes it a 1v1, and maybe I can win. So you think at 400 health, you're going to take a point-blank duel with a guy who does 600 health instantly, right? McCree, with all his cooldowns, he's just going to immediately kill you, even if you successfully do what you're trying to do. But, on top of that, there's going to be a Rhine throwing his E, there's going to be a Zarya right-clicking, there's going to be a Zen shooting at you. So it's even worse than what you thought it was. I understand that you thought you were taking 1v1 with a McCree, and you were surprised when he got bubbled and when you got killed by other people, and that's fine. But even if you were taking 1v1 with a McCree, you would have lost it. That was just bad. And I know the way Nick talks, you're going to say, well, yeah, but this was a 2v4, of course I died. But it wasn't. It was a 4v4. There's a Widow there. There's a Junkrat there. There's me with you. It was a 4v4. And you point blanked a McCree. Don't do that. And you point blanked a McCree in the line of sight of all 4 of the enemy players, and you started the fight lower than 600 health. So I didn't like any of that. Coming back to point, you're going to do the thing that I think you already immediately realized was bad when watching any play, which is you're going to do a great ult setup here. You're going to ult right on top of the enemy team and on top of the card and on top of the point and in a great spot. And I liked your ult. And then after the ult, this is what you see, right? You just landed. Zarya has a bubble. Zen's using his ult. Ana is right there, and Widow is right there, right? I don't like standing where 4 people can see me, so I would immediately be thinking, how can I hook somewhere high that's near a mega, right? So I would have probably tried to get up here, or tried to get up here, because there's a mega right beneath there. So I would have tried to get up here, or I would have tried to get up here, because, again, there's a mega directly to your right. And then there's another mega over there, so I guess if you went here, you could get to that mega too. But the main reason I would want to get up high is because Ana, Zen, and Widow, even without this Zarya, can melt you in a second. Zarya 1v1 can melt you in maybe 4 seconds, right? So all of these things are very scary, and there's 4 of them, and you're on the wrong side of the... Again, your team is here, their team is here, and you're in the middle. You're always in between the 2 teams. I hate that. Anyway, so you're going to kind of back up and 1v1 this Zarya a little bit, and then realize, hey, you know, Ball can't 1v1 Zarya, so what am I doing? So you're going to move away from the Zarya, but you're just going to move a little bit away from the Zarya, then you're going to turn and go fight the Zarya. Like, why? Why? I don't get that. Now, you're 300 health. If you're below 400 health, you should be looking for a mega, and you should be trying to draw fire while you get there. Instead, you're going to go into 3 of them, jump on the Widow, and die instantly. So, yeah, stop engaging when you don't have 600 health. You need 600 health to engage. Also, I think we already went over this fight when you were still awake, so I think you know what was bad about that. So now we're going to talk about how Nick stalls, right? Because right here is obviously a stall condition. I'm on point, you're on point. It's 2v6, 2v5, 2v4. So how do we stall? Do we go right next to the Ana and McCree and Rhine and be like, well, I was on point, that's all I can do? You hook up high and you let go. This is what you always do. You hook up high, you swing, you let go. Don't let go. Don't let go. Right? So if I were stalling here, I would have hooked to the right near the point, right on that corner near the point, and then I would have swung over and bounced a couple people and then ended up right here and then bounced off this wall and then went back down and under and over here and then over there and back onto point and then around here and then over and then around, and I would never let go of this hook position right here. I would have gone at least 3 times. I would have tried to make Ana sleep me while I'm going crazy around in circles, because she's going to miss. And if she doesn't, good on her, man. That's awesome. But it's way easier to sleep someone who's standing on the ground than it is to sleep a crazy ball that's going all weird figure 8 crazy. It also puts you in a very tempting position for the McCree to try to flashbang you, but also where he's probably going to miss, because you're only near where he can actually hit you about a fourth of the time. So this is kind of... like, this is obviously you should be stalling here, and you're trying to stall here. Like, you're thinking, I should stall here, how can I stall here? And this is how you stall, and it doesn't work at all. You're so low. Like, this is exactly a Rhine, a Brig, a Genji, and an Ana, right? I went up against those 4 things with full health by myself and stalled for, I think, 12 seconds, and you went against a very similar composition. And because you were so low, right? Because you hooked the ground, you hooked this height. You couldn't stall nearly as long just because of where you hooked and how early you let go and what you did, you know, before then.
No one.
Right? So I would have been jumping with the space bar from here to hit here, which would have bounced me up here, and then landing on this side, and then jumping to hit here, to bounce off this wall, to bounce here. And you can bounce a lot without needing to use your hook to do the bounces. Now, granted, there's 6 people shooting at you. The Widow might have forced you off. The Zen might have forced you off still. But when you just roll around on the ground, it's so much easier to force you off than if you bounce around a lot. So that's something... I don't know that you need to practice it like in a custom map or anything, but you definitely should try it next time you find yourself stalling a cart. It's just bounce off the cart and bounce off the walls and just bounce. You're very bouncy. So I think this was my favorite play of yours as it was coming up, which is the play of the game. Nick is awesome play. You hook up high, which we should always do. You put yourself... I want to say there's no mega here, right? So what would I have done, right? Because this does turn out great, but it violates my heuristic. My heuristic is I want to go up high, and I want to put myself somewhere where I can get to a mega quickly. So there's a mega right there. I guess from here you can get there quickly. There's another mega around that corner, so I guess you can kind of get there quickly. So this is okay. So you go up high, and Widow is looking at you, and Anna's looking at you. Widow just ulted. Widow comes up to shoot at you. You're still kind of in a 1v1, but Anna's looking at you. And now you're doing so good for so long. And when you jump down, like why do you think, what do you think you were thinking when you jumped down? Like why did you think you jumped down? I know that you get the kill on the Zen, and that you said you dove the Zen, and maybe it was a little risky, but he died. Those were your words, if I remember correctly. So I think you're thinking, look how out of position the Zen is. I should put myself in between the Zen and his team so that my team can kill the Zen, right? But as always, one line, your team. One line, their team. You, in the middle. Don't like it. The Zen dies. I mean, you know, great. But what you did worked. But I don't like what you did. Just because it worked doesn't mean I have to like it. What I do fails to work at least 40% of the time, but I like it. Whether or not things work isn't the only thing that decides if we like it. It's whether or not we win games when we do it. That was good, obviously. You 1v1 the Widow and killed her. And I feel like I've tried to emphasize this in the past. When I take duels, I like to take duels where the other guy isn't shooting back. Look at this. So much easier to kill someone when they're not even pointing their gun at you. You just stand there and shoot it. Earlier you took a duel with the Widow, and it ended up in a 2v1, you and me against the Widow, and it took 12 seconds to kill her or something. I keep saying 12 seconds about everything because I don't really count. It took a long time to kill the Widow. This time, because she's not even pointing her gun at you, you just kind of stand still and murder her. Like, you have good aim when no one's shooting her. And that's true of everyone. So that was a great engage again. You went in thinking, I'm going to drop mines on the cart. And then you dropped mines on the cart. And then you backed up and nobody shot at you. So you could just stay there and be like, ah, no one's even shooting at me. How cool is this, right? I love when no one shoots at me. Right? So you're thinking on this engage, I mean, obviously I can't read your mind, but I can pretend. I believe your thinking was, I have mines, I'm going to drop mines on cart. Right? There's a bunch of people right there, I'm going to drop my mines on them. Right? You were thinking about where they are and how you could hit them. Right? I'm always thinking about where I want to end up, and you weren't thinking about where you wanted to end up. Because I feel like when you drop mines on them, where's the best place for you to be? After the mines drop, I think where you ended up was the perfect place, right? Because now you can boop them into the mines you just dropped. Now you can retreat out of line of sight if they chase you. Now, you know, like it was a good spot to be in. But I think you ended up there just because that's where you wanted to drop your mines. I feel like I asked you about that while we were watching the replay, and you said, I'm doing what you told me to, I'm getting behind them, right? And that's a frightening statement because I never told you, go get behind them. That's what you really need to do, is to get behind them. Right? My heuristic does not include, I should go get behind them. I almost never want to be behind them. Did you see me, like, in that Whole King's Row game? I don't think I was ever behind them. I mean, maybe one time, maybe 2 times. But it was only because behind them happened to be very close to a mega. It wasn't because I want to be behind them. You're not a tracer, man. So this was good. You went into stall, right? Because they were like 1 yard from capping. I think they just capped. I think I just heard the cap noise. No, it just keeps playing the cap noise. I don't know. It played the cap noise, didn't it? Anyway. Yeah, it just played it again. That's weird. It just keeps playing the swing. I guess there's a... The unpause sound is the same as the cap noise. So I think we did successfully stall. Anyway, this was a good failed attempt to stall. There's nothing I wanted to talk about here. I was just... That sound that keeps playing was confusing. So as always, I mean, this is right. What you did was right, and it was good. But where were you standing? In between your team and their team. Where would Ben have been standing? Exactly the same spot. I'm just saying, you end up in this spot far too often. So I mean, I wouldn't have done exactly what you did there, but I would have died the exact same way that you died. You got shattered and it all died. But I would have... Sorry, I wanted to pause it right when... Okay. So, your goal is to make sure the cart doesn't move before your team gets here, and also to make sure that you're pulling people's eyeballs, people's fire, to a place that's different than where your team, especially your squishies, are going to be standing, right? So you were on the ground the whole time. You booped the Rhine back, and then you moved over here and hid behind your shield, and then got shot, and all that was fine. But what would I have been doing? I would have been doing, like I said, jumping up on the cart, and then jumping off the other side, and jumping on the cart, and jumping off the other side, and jumping. I wouldn't have been shooting it anyway, I don't think. And I would want to be up in the sky so that when McCree shoots up at me, if he misses, he's not going to hit anyone. His bolt's going to fly off into nowhere, right? I always want to be at a different angle than my team. But I don't think that would have... I think I would have died just like you guys. So I'm going to try to make a prediction about what Nick's going to do, right? Nick's always thinking, how can I wait until all of my team is ready to fight and then hit the first person I see? So my guess is you're going to try to hit this Reinhardt, right? You're going to wait until you see all your guys ready. We got a pick. I'm going to go hit the Reinhardt. Let's see if that's what happens. Yep. He comes in, he hits the Reinhardt, he gets slept. He almost dies, he gets out. And now he's going to get healed up. Now, one complaint I've always had is that you don't wait till you're full. Let's see if you wait till you're full this time. Hey, waited till you're full, so that's good. Now, what do I think Nick's going to do? Nick's whole team is in one spot. Nobody's dead. Their May had previously died. It's a good time to be fighting. I think Nick's going to hit this Reinhardt again. I'm wrong. I remember what happens when you go for the Widow, which is good, but that would have been consistent. No, you don't. You're going to go behind them. Alright, now you're going to shoot at the Zen. Of all these targets, I like the Zen the best. Nobody's looking at you. It's a perfect time to stand 100% still and just point at the Zen's head and murder the Zen. You jumped the gun because you could have waited a long time. No one's ever going to look at you. You could have waited a long time for your cursor to be right on the Zen's head before you pulled the trigger the first time. So you kind of start shooting his butt first, and then people look at you as soon as you pull the trigger. So you got to remember that until you pull the trigger, you can line up that shot. But you probably weren't going to kill him anyway because the Anna immediately healed him. And then the McCree started looking at you, and then you get stunned, and now you're in the totally wrong spot. You're in the middle of their team. Your team is over there. No one on their team is like taking fire while their team shoots at you. So it's perfectly safe because of the line of sight of this bridge, right? McCree and Zen and Anna are out of line of sight of your team. They're not taking fire. And they can all murder you. It's I don't like it. I don't like it. This is why I generally don't sneak up behind enemy teams, right? I like to sneak to the side of enemy teams. Like I would have loved. See, there's a mega right here. I would have loved to play around that mega, right? That's where I would have been playing here. Is you might want to swing through the front slam here, and then roll to the Mega, and then roll upstairs, and then jump out from the balcony, and then grapple here, swing through here, go to the Mega, go up top, just keep making that little loop. And then if somebody starts interrupting that loop, then go over to the far right where the other Mega is, and play around that. Anyway, I think we've hit on the fact that you don't play around Megas.
It's high time.
I don't even think we're going to get the real fight.
Nano boost is ready. Get in there and I'll hit you.
Alright, so this is stall time. What do we do when we stall? We want to be jumping on the cart over and over. Not necessarily even shooting at people, just bouncing off the cart and bouncing off the cart and drawing fire. And you stayed on the ground the whole time. You only shot a tiny bit, which I guess is good. You played a little bit of Ring Around the Rosies with Ryan, which is pretty good. But I mean, one thing you never do is get airborne. You really, like, if you were stalling as an Orisa, you would have done exactly the same thing as you just did. You're not playing this differently because you're hamster than you did with any other hero. Hamster has a magical stall ability. This is pretty good, right? But again, a lot of times I see you engage thinking, oh, I could boop this guy from here to there and that would be good. And that's a time where it was good, and you did it, and it worked, and that was great. But that's almost never what I'm thinking, you know? And all I can do is tell you, I have a heuristic that works, here's what it is, and here's when you're violating it, and that's an example of you violating it, man. And right here, another example of you violating it. If you're 600 health, you should be getting high, you should be drawing people's fire. This is good, you actually kill it. And you should be near a Mega, and as soon as you get below 400 health, you should be finding a Mega. So, going into those three people again, you're pushing from the front. You're just pushing them back from the front. You're like push back, right? You do that a lot. I don't like it. I don't almost never do that. You should be going from wherever the hell you happen to be to a safe spot near a Mega. Here's your little Widow Duel. You're at 282 health. I would absolutely, again, you go to this mini. I would have gone down these stairs to the right side of our screen. You can see there's stairs that lead to a Mega. I would have gone there. Because now you got a mini, and now you're going to continue your duel? No. So don't do that.
Into the iris.
Walk it off.
It's okay. I think a nitpicky difference between how I handle Widows and how you handle Widows. We both know that it's our job to get in the Widow's face. But I think you're trying to kill her, and I'm trying to make sure I'm in her face. I don't know that what you're doing is worse, I just know it's not what I'm doing. Alright, so let's talk about what I would do, and what I think you'll do, and then we'll watch what happens. So, Mr. Halby is up here harassing the Widow. I believe, yeah, it looks like everyone's ready. There's a Bastion up there, with a, Bastion, Hog, Orisa, Mercy? So the only people we can kill right now are Zen and, Widow. Right? So I would be using this bottom right side Mega, right? So I'd probably go up here, jump on the Widow, immediately roll over to the Mega. Just see if anyone shoots me. If no one shoots me, I might stop right when I get around the corner and then just keep shooting at the Widow, so she has to go hide somewhere and stop shooting at my team. And they can't hit me, so maybe the Bastion would stay there, or maybe he'd move, or maybe someone would move, or maybe Orisa would throw a ball or something. But I'm in a safe position where I know I can get exactly from this ledge right here to that Mega so quickly that no one's ever going to be able to punish me for being where I'm being. What do I think Nick's going to do? I imagine what Nick always does is slam the tanks, right? So I imagine you're going to slam the tanks. Let's watch what
I'm on the
happens.
objective. Come join me.
There we go. Tried to slam the tanks, but we missed, and we ended up awesomely killing Zen. That was great. I'm wondering if you did that on purpose, because that was really good, so maybe you did that on purpose.
Come join me.
Go up here. You could see the Zen. I feel like you missed that ledge, but maybe you did that on purpose, and if you did, good job. Killed the Zen, that was exactly right. And now, by killing the Zen, we've kind of pulled people out of position, and I don't know why you went, I guess you were really low, but there was a Mega right next to you. Like, if you're low, don't go to your healer, there's a Mega right there, just go get it. Because, I mean, being in the same position as your team is just objectively bad. Never be where your team is. Alright, so now we're trying to boot people off the ledge, I imagine. This is going to be hard, because where will you even hook to try to boot this guy off the ledge? And you're waiting to make sure that people are ready when you do it? No, yeah, that didn't work. I don't know where you need to hook to boot people off that ledge, but whatever it is, it wasn't there. Well, again, let's hit the tank. And then you use your E despite not being hit, and then you're not going to have it when you actually need it. And you're going to go in again, same thing, and then you're going to die. Yeah, I thought all of that was bad. I feel like you're afraid to farm ult off of Hog's face, right? You've played Hog against Hamster, right? You can zone out a Hamster, but can you really kill a Hamster in a 1v1? Like, if he knows how to go get Megas whenever he wants? I don't think so. So, when you killed Zen, the Widow started shooting at you, and the Hog came over. I would have just dueled the Hog for ult charge, man, because his ult is crap, and your ult is awesome, especially against a Bastion. And then over here, your team kind of pulled the Zen and Hog out of position, and then you kept going back to the Bastion. Like, don't go back to the Bastion, just hang out here, kill the Zen. Swinging into this bunker. Like, you do 100 damage, maybe 150 if you're super lucky. You don't do enough to kill anyone, and no one else can do damage. What is the point? If you're just building ult charge, there's much safer ways to do it. And if you're trying to boop them off, it's never going to work. And if there's no other point, there's no other reason. I don't know. It's bad. It's bad. It's just bad. And again, if the win condition for you here is to build ult and then ult the bunker, why are you waiting for your team, man? Find a position where you can build ult without any risk of death and take it. Just like Hammond can be 100% safe, and I don't feel like you've internalized that yet. I think that's a repeat of the previous thing. I want to boop them off the ledge, is what you're thinking. I mean, you already have ult, though. And Zen isn't on high ground. Like, Zen and Hog aren't on high ground. I feel like the goal here should either be to build ult as fast as possible, or to kill the Zen, or to kill the Hog. Going into the bunker opener. So now you do something awesome, which is you're like, hey, I've got my mines, I'm going to go mines the bunker, and it's going to work, and everyone's going to like us. But kill that Widow! What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, fine. Just kind of walk casually up to him and stand still and murder him. That's perfect, dude. Do that all the time, that's great. This is bad. The reason I said this is bad is because look at your health. Like, you've been at 300 this whole time. Again, I'm pretty sure that your Lucio, who's me, just wasted that ult because you've stayed at 300 health this whole time when you could easily have gotten more.
Into the iris.
That's not good. don't know what to say, man. Obviously, it's not working against Bastion, but we all know that Hamster doesn't work against Bastion. He's never worked against Bastion. He will never work against Bastion. It's not worth talking about.
10 seconds.
I mean, when you're playing Rhine or Orisa against a Bastion, you switch to Diva. Just do that with Hamster, too.
Victory.
Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? Bye.